You guys want to hear a teammate rip a former teammate? And just kind of out of the blue. But apparently, Martellus Bennett, who's also like Warren Sapp, he'll just call it like it is. He was he was talking about Jimmy Garoppolo and that year when Tom Brady got suspended 4 games for a Deflategate, and Jimmy Garoppolo started those games, and then he missed the final game, and Jacoby Brissett actually started a game. And he was talking with the McCourty twins on their podcast about why their record wasn't even better than it was that year they won the Super Bowl against Atlanta. Here's what Martellus Bennett had to say.
Bro, we lost 2 games. One of them was because Jimmy Garoppolo was being a and trying to quit. He quit before us on the last. Decided not to play right before the game. So we went out there. Jacoby came out and played with a thumb and played his heart out. But Jimmy was just being a about it all, and he's still being like. That's why you can't win with a for a quarterback. First of all, so like that was the whole thing with him. He didn't want to come out and like do anything because his agent was trying to protect his body or some like that. Which I can't fault him for that. But, like, he should have made that decision on Thursday. Now on Sunday, you know what I'm saying? So, anyway, so he not going out there. So, Jacoby strap up, and we lost to the Buffalo Bills, which we shouldn't have lost.
Hey.
I mean,
Tell
dude,
us how you really feel.
First off, he won both games he started.
He did.
They won the next one, and like they lost to Buffalo. Like I don't know.
And they won a Super Bowl that year, by the
They
way.
won a Super Bowl. Like,
It sounds
I've
like
never heard a dude go off on a guy that like, yeah, he missed 1 game or 2 games, excuse me. And they went 1-1 in those 2 games.
I mean, it sounds like
Still won a Super Bowl.
there's a little bit of animosity there that exists.
Here's the thing. So Julian Edelman was on the I Am Athlete podcast, and they asked him about Martellus Bennett's comments. And Julian Edelman, he didn't deny what Martellus Bennett said.
So we go into week 4, and I guess Jimmy was practicing, and then decided not to play, and Jacoby played with no ligaments in his thumb, which you can't do that as a quarterback. You can't grip, and if it's your left, and a lot of guys got mad about it. I'm not gonna lie, I got mad about it. I sacrificed my body all day long. I was taking shots for this, numbing up that, ribs, broken ribs, shoulders, grade 3, hanging on by limbs just to play, and I can understand why Marty thinks like that.
I mean, 6 years later, they're still in the grudge about it. It just
I don't get it. I get it and I don't, right? Like, quarterback play is such an interesting position where, there's some guys who are able to, even out at 100%, still be better than the rest. The vast majority aren't. But there is that respect amongst teammates when you're out there grinding and trying to. I do think there is something to that where, you're trying to do what you can. I'll never forget when I broke my right index finger, and I remember I wanted to practice that next week because we didn't know what was wrong. I wasn't, going to like moan and complain about it. And so my offensive coordinator looks at me, he's like, "What is wrong with you?" Because I could not throw a spiral. Literally I couldn't use my right index finger. And my middle finger was still swollen too. I hit it off Marcus Stroud's helmet. And he's like, and he looks at my fingers. He goes, "You need to go get that looked at." And so we get X-rays, and they're like, my team trainer hits me up, Marty Lazone. He's like, "Hey, we got a problem, Chief." He's like, "You need to come in and meet with the doctors in the morning." So he's like, "Here's what we can do." He's like, "You got a mallet finger." He's like, "You're probably gonna need this." He said, "But like we can try taping it, or put on a glove, do these different things." So we kind of tried to practice with everything, and I ended up playing. I ended up trying to start that next week, and I did not play well. And look, like, candidly, I couldn't control the ball. Like, I was going to need more time to figure out how to throw with my, like, middle and ring finger instead of my index finger. It was just going to take time because I had to throw more sidearm, and I was going to have to, figure out a different way of doing it. And they talked to me at halftime. They were like, "Yeah, we're going to sit you down." And I was just like, okay. I was like, well, I guess I don't get any credit for trying to push through this. And so then after we kind of agreed, like, if when we were in the point at that point too, we weren't out of anything yet. It was like a little past the midpoint of the season, but we needed to start winning games. Like we were like a 4-6 team or something like that. And so I ended up having the pins put in. And it stunk because I felt like it wasn't like a major injury. It wasn't a Liz Frank. It wasn't a back surgery. It wasn't a knee. It wasn't any of that. and it stunk. But like the reality was, like I wasn't going to be able to do my job the way I needed it to. So I don't know. I mean, I could see both sides of it, but the whole contract thing and Jimmy and all that, like I don't know. He got traded anyway.
Yeah.
Like that never even came into really play, at least that year, I don't think.
For right or for wrong, I think one of the most important aspects of an athlete and their sports life, whether Pee Wee League, high school, college, or pro, is storytelling. I think it's one of the most interesting phenomenons of an athlete in their life is recollection. So to me, when I hear Martellus's account of it, or even Edelman's account of it, whether it matters or not, I just think that the idea of being able to give accounts of things that you've experienced, Martellus is 100% going for effect by saying it the way that he's saying it. I mean, I don't, he's one of those type guys. He's so eclectic and artsy and Renaissance and how he does things that he's storytelling. And it sounds as though Edelman was coming from more of this is the account of it, no real emotion attached to it. But the one thing I've always loved about athletes talking to athletes, or even when athletes are talking to fans, because one of the things that I've been enjoying lately, I got to admit, is for some reason, maybe it's because I'm going to the Hall of Fame this year, but there have been a lot more people lately wanting to share stories that are associated with a time that I was a part of. And I have thoroughly enjoyed the accounts that have been given connected to a moment. Like, I remember when you guys played Ohio State and da-da-da. And I just heard that story the other day, and somebody was talking about the duel between me and Niall Diggs. And I hadn't even thought about it in quite some time. I don't really think about my career too often. But I just enjoy hearing people give their accounts. Like, his bleep, and he came out here and he was on some bleep and the bleeping of the bleep of the bleep, bleep, bleep. You know what I mean? Hey, Johnny, you know what I'm saying? What I was saying is I went out there, man. I put my hand down there in that dirt, and I was fighting, and I'm getting shots here, and I'm getting numbed up there, and I'm getting like, I enjoy the accounts that are given for good or for bad. I think it's pretty interesting.
So Garoppolo just can't win no matter what. So like when he's in New England now, he's being called, a bitch and other things. Like I mean, he was.
Yeah, I mean that is what it was.
Because he was dealing with an injury. He goes to San Francisco. They get to a Super Bowl.
He just isn't good enough.
Not
the defense couldn't hold them off. Yeah, with a two possession game.
Played all postseason. After he suffered the injury against the Cowboys.
I was just gonna say, didn't he have a thumb injury in that run?
A shoulder injury. He had a shoulder injury. And then remember when he tore his ACL? What was the knock on him after he tore his ACL? Oh my God, the game was out of reach. Why did he turn back inside?
Why did he just run out of bounds?
He can't win. No matter what he does, the guy can't win. Like, he's going to get ripped no matter what he does.
I mean, he's like Brady Quinn.
Like, what do you mean by that?
He's a good-looking dude.
He's a good-looking dude. He's going to be hated on.
I'm sorry. People going to keep it all the way real. I mean, Edelman's not a bad-looking dude. Martellus ain't the prettiest mother sucker. But I'm just telling you like this. Neither one of them are as good-looking as Garoppolo is. And, for what it's worth, I'm sure they've experienced other things that really led them to not feeling good about, Garoppolo.
It relates back to the porn star. I think there was a lot of jealousy that came out of that.
Agreed. Because,
that was just one that would have been better left behind closed doors.
Because here's the thing. A lot of those guys that hate on Jimmy Garoppolo, the only way they're getting a date with that porn star is if they got good Wi-Fi. Jimmy Garoppolo
stupid.
just gets
strong. All I know is, have you ever seen Garoppolo do a post-game interview? It is the funniest thing ever because he knows he's good looking. He knows he does that interview. Yeah, it was that type of a game, and well, we had to fight to get through it. Thanks, Jimmy. Gives the wink. You're welcome. They be all smitten by him. They don't even finish saying what. It's like a big pause in between, like, and back to you guys.
Hey, good for him.
Hey, some of them cats out there in that locker room, they can't handle that. Me, I appreciate it. I appreciate a good-looking dude on your team. You know why? Because he can't get them all.
Yeah.
I'm going to be your best friend. I'm going to be that dude wait for that quote iguana to fall out of the tree. Hey, Jimmy, what you got? Who talking bad about you? I will whoop his ass. Jimmy's my best friend.
Oh, man.
Yeah, apparently there wasn't much sharing going on with Jimmy Garoppolo.
Apparently not.
Oh, no.
They just didn't hit the right, trigger words. They didn't offer the right things to Jimmy for the friendship.